So we're gonna do a template activity. This is tied in with our photography unit and our Photoshop unit. The reason why it's in with both is because we can't just steal somebody's album cover and say this is my album cover. So we need to either take a photograph of it, or we need to use some royalty-free photos that we're allowed to use for a project or something. For example, I've made a couple. So if we click in, and I'll show you all the files in a minute, but if we go in, one of them is vinyl. So this is a group that I helped to record as well as put together this vinyl for. The reason why it is a big long piece is because when you create your image, you're going to want a company to put it together. I didn't print this up and get the vinyl pressed and everything, but what I did was I paid a company. Now you can pay them somewhere about 400 to 500 bucks to put this together, or if you know Photoshop, you can put it together. So they send you a template, you open up that template, it's got all the guidelines, and you're putting together a front and back. Now there's so many files up on the Google Classroom because the one file is just this front and back. So usually on the back it's got the song titles, and it's got a cool little, all the bands that collaborated it in the background as shadows, similar to the robot shadows coming down on the scene. Now this actual picture, so I didn't Photoshop this picture or make it. We paid an artist, Trevor Warchin, to do this drawing, and he put together that cover art, which was super cool, for our radio comic. And then we ended, because the radio comic had a robot apocalypse at the end, that's where we got the name for the collaboration, Robot Apocalypse. So anyways, in the folder, if you choose vinyl, there are many files, because what some people may want to do, and this one's optional, is include, it's got all the who, and on the back of that sheet, what was popular a few years ago was this, which is called glitch art, where you take a photo and you glitch it all out and it gets colorful and a whole bunch of stuff like that onto it. So we included that because we wanted to recognize the collaborators, but it's also got on the actual records, so we got this record pressed up, but on the records you get to pick the sticker that's on there. So there's side A, it's got the A's in the eyeballs, and there is side B, it's got the B in the eyeballs of this Robot Apocalypse record that we got pressed up. So that's why there's so many files. We can do the sticker, we can do the album, we can make a complete set. Another one that we did, that I designed, this isn't my album though, is a tape. Tapes, there's a cool little record label in the area, 3/9 tape cassette, and they also have a radio program. Anyways, this is actually my brother's album. He recorded this, asked me to design the album here. This picture is actually a picture of one of the classroom Mac power source chipboards. I took a picture of it just with my phone, and this was going to be a smaller picture, so I just took that with my phone and turned it into an album cover. Now again, this one is a little bit weird on the template because what you are building is actually a big piece like that, and you got to know where the name goes down the spine. The inside, I think, is a separate file for this one. We created it like that. So this is actually the chip. This is the scheme for the chip, and then the tape kind of models that. The tape is so this is another file, the sticker that's on the tape. There's the one side, and then the other side is like the scheme. So that's his group, Audio Boffins, right there. Printed 2 tapes. Oh, here's his card. That's the 3/9 tape cassette. I don't know if it's in focus, but anyway, who put that together. Now, so we did the design for it so that we wouldn't have to pay extra for the design, and then they went and put it on the medium and printed up all the artwork. A couple times. Now, this first one we did all at home. So this was a CD cover that we printed. We used a template to print it so that all of them would be the same. And it wasn't a full fold, so it was on special paper. We printed it ourselves. A lot of the time, if you do black and white, if you're making an album, black and white is cheaper because you don't have to print in color. They charge extra if you want more than, sometimes they charge, black and white is a certain price, one color is another price, and then full color. So we did something like that. This bit folds open, that's got the track listing, who made it, and then a little other black and white photo in there that closes, and then you can still read some stuff right there. Yeah, this one we actually did, I don't know if it's got both of them on here still. Yeah, so we did a CD and a DVD set all in one, so we just actually did the one side here. And it was indie, so it was very independent. But yeah, a bunch of people found this. This was kind of our band's debut CD. And some people found this really cool because it was a CD and DVD all in one. Then YouTube took over. So for our second album, we got them printed up. This one we designed. I'm going to show you. We took many photos of this speaker. For whatever reason, I decided I want the album to be of a speaker. So the front is a speaker, the back is the speaker broken. And again, these have got some files on there. I'm not sure that the one that I have, like you can get multiple files. This one, for example, has a book. But you can get ones that are just one page also. And I believe that's the one that's in our files. Scary picture of Mr. McKenna. That was a while back. And then it's also got another file because what you're also making, you can pop out this tray card here. I don't want to break it, but you're also making the piece that goes in behind the tray card, which has all the band or the song titles in there, that piece. And then there's yet another one for the CD cover. So a CD has a whole bunch of different spots. The tape probably has about 3. The vinyl has 3 or 4. And then the last one, I've never made one like this before, but you also have the option of making a DVD, the artwork for a DVD case. Now, if you open a DVD case and open it extended, that is what you're making right there. This is, I haven't made one of these, so I just grabbed one of my favorite movies. This is The Crow. I like comic books, so this is based upon a comic book. And it's got the cover and the background there. And that just slides in. And this one also has got a CD cover because you want to, just like when you're putting up a movie, what they're going to do is they're going to print that outside cover of the DVD. Oh, I didn't get that fit back in there good. And then also the DVD. So you want to print what your cover and back is going to be, and then the DVD. This one's probably the easiest. This one's only 2 files. So one for the front and back, probably all on one in the files, and then the CD to go with it. So next, what we'll do is we'll look at those files and kind of see how, what we got to do to put those together. All right, I'm just going to show you a little bit here. I've got Photoshop open. I've opened some of the templates. This is the vinyl template. There are many vinyl templates. Let me just grab a vinyl. So for example, here was Robot Apocalypse. It is just it's like a one case thing. It slides in the side. This one has a spine, so that's why this one's called with spine. I wanted to have Robot Apocalypse down the side. All this little stuff costs more and more. Someone like, this is Frankie and the Witch Fingers. They made a nice album on vinyl. I thought it was 2 a.m. and I said 2 a.m. in my podcast, but it's actually ZAM. But this one costs way more. This one, I believe, is called a gatefold or something like that. They got all artwork in the inside, on the outside, on the back. This would be a different template. I only have one vinyl template online for us to download from. Once you've downloaded it, this is kind of what it looks like, and you can see all the layers. Like if I just start hiding layers, like that was the name. There it is, Robot Apocalypse. I downloaded, see, I've got all these warnings here too, because I've got all those warnings on it because I must have built this on a different computer, and I don't actually have those fonts on my computer, so there's all warnings and it gave me a warning when I turned it on as well, saying I need to update it, but that would have changed all the fonts and I didn't want to do that. So there's all my fonts. Something like this might be the back. Yeah, I double up the fonts so it has a little bit of a black outline, so it pops a little bit more. So that was what it would look like without it, which still looks pretty good, but I want that little pop around the white, so it looks pretty cool like that. There are probably tons of layers. The front and the back are actually separate. I stole the color from here to make this. I stole the shadow color for the word color here. Yeah, I did a lot of different little play stuff to make this album cover. It took me a little bit to build. I've got a couple things here. Here is this is what it looks like for the stickers that I showed you that are on each of the albums. As well as here is the original picture. And then we went through some glitching. It's not as cool glitching out pictures anymore, so we made all these glitched out artwork, and we ended up going with this one because it fit the color of what we were trying to do. Let me keep going back here. Oh, the whole album cover, this is what the page of the comic book looked like, and that is what we ended up taking to make our Robot Apocalypse cover. There it is. Right out of our own comic book, so it was okay to do that. We've looked at that stuff. Here was the photograph that I took. That is of a power source inside the Mac computers, actually right in our classroom. I took a picture of it so that I could research how to fix it. And then I used a zoom in of that for my tape template. Now, when you submit, the people for the tapes, they didn't want that on, so I ended up turning off the template, and they just printed that and folded it up. They knew how to fold it. But sometimes the vinyl company wanted me to have the lines on to make sure. And the reason why you go past these lines is because, see, right down here, extend your artwork to the outer black frame. There must be a black line around the outside. Let me just hide the picture. Yeah, so see how it's around there, the black line? They want you to do that just so that some of the white doesn't bleed up, and then you get a white border around your tape. So they want you to do that so that it looks nice. And same thing here, there's audio boffins. You could see it when I hit it. This one is way further off than this one. I think I did that intentionally because it was difficult to, it's difficult to read the end of the word audio boffins there. So when I threw some black in behind it, it made it a whole bunch easier to read. So little tricks like that. I always right click, duplicate my text layer, especially if it's on something loud like this. Duplicate my text layer, turn it to black, and slightly offset it so that it pops a little bit. The inside, we went with something simple. Actually, I think by the end, I must have another version. We added a whole bunch of wording up here. But he ended up, side A was the first bit of his project, side B was the second bit of his project. And even on here somewhere, I was looking, this CD that I showed, I don't know where I put all that stuff. One of our first CDs that we got done, we wanted this speaker theme, this side speaker theme, and so we took all these pictures of it, and it looks like this is the one that we ended up going with, one of these two. And then on the back, probably this one, because it's off in the corner and it's all broken, unless I cropped it, but it was probably something like this. And I saw that there were templates. These templates are so old, I don't know that they would actually work. But let's see if we can see. No, so that, oh, maybe those are just the template files. Maybe in here is the artwork. Back cover. No. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is an older template. This is actually the tray card. This is the back. So there's the broken speaker. This was back when MySpace was a big thing. There's our MySpace page. So 2005, it looks like that was when this one came out. These are along the spines, so along the sides of the CD. That's where that is. And this would be this back tray card right here. So it still works. The ones we may have might be slightly different, because obviously that was before you were born. So book inside. Yeah, see? The fonts are missing. Let's see if what it looks like. So this was the old font. That was us performing a long time ago when I had long hair. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So the book, it looks like, would fold right here. And what they want you to do is go past this. Those are your bleed lines. The center of the one side. I don't know why they didn't give us the center of this side, but this is the book. This is what folds. If we open this up, we can see there that is. That's how it turned out. My webcam's a little bit old and grainy, so it doesn't quite look as good as it does on the computer, but there you have it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. There should be a file for the CD. That's what that CD cover looks like. I was new to Photoshop back then, so I just drew happy faces on there. All this idea of layers, I was learning at the time, so I wasn't super great. Again, this is getting these warning symbols because I don't have this font on this computer. This was a long time ago that I built this album cover. So on our Google Classroom, we want to download whatever ones we want to do, and then build our album cover, whatever, in there using our own photos. Now, I'm going to go to this. Even if you may be thinking, yeah, but nobody uses CDs anymore. Vinyl is coming back. Locally, tapes are coming back. But even if you don't want to do something like that, you're going to be releasing it digitally. Most things want some type of artwork, even with a digital release. So a newer project being that Audio Boffins, which you can also download free from there if you want, but let me find that again. Audio Boffins, tape template. If you look Audio Boffin's front Bandcamp. So when I was designing it, we were also designing a separate image for just the Bandcamp page. It's essentially the same thing, just with a different layout. So there's our Bandcamp image, which was our tape probably folds somewhere along here. This one's just a little bit longer than the tape one would be and a little bit more square. Where is the tape one? Let me see if I can find it. No, oh, it'd be way. I got so many things open. Front. So as you can see, it's a little bit, actually it might be the exact same size, just with a black border. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I removed all the template layers. Oh, there it is. There's even, actually I didn't even notice that. There's the template layers. And what I did was I hid the spine. There it is. There's the spine text. I hid all the spine text and removed the template, and that became the Bandcamp, which Bandcamp is just a site. If you're selling your own music online, you can put it up there. All this stuff is free though. But yeah, so these were a couple albums that I created. And again, if you think that you're not really into music and you wouldn't ever create an album, I would look into the DVD, because creating DVD stuff is super cool too. Yeah, there's so much design stuff that you can do with all this. And you've probably, I'm sure you've seen different like albums by newer artists, and so you've got a preference to how they look like and stuff like that. So what we want to try and do is pick anything you want: tape, vinyl, DVD's probably the easiest, and put together an original packaging for some band, or you could even make up a band, or something like that.